This is the breakdown of whether a gas hybrid actually makes financial sense compared to a regular gas car or a full electric vehicle for your daily commute, and the numbers might surprise you. 2 hours a day in traffic going to and from work means the type of car you drive isn't just about getting from point A to point B anymore. It's about how much money leaves your wallet every month at the gas pump, how much you'll pay to keep it running, and whether you'll get that money back when you eventually sell it. The most important question is whether the fuel savings actually justify the higher price you pay up front. Vehicle cost comparison. Walk into a dealership today and most hybrid models cost between $2,000 and $3,000 more than their gas-only counterparts. The Toyota RAV4, which happens to be the best-selling hybrid in North America, will set you back an extra $1,600 to $1,800 compared to the regular version. That premium has been dropping over the years across brands like Toyota, Honda, Kia, and Hyundai, but it's still real money you need to account for. Fuel economy statistics. The math gets interesting when you look at actual fuel economy numbers. The conventional RAV4 gets 29 miles per gallon combined city and highway, which translates to about 8 liters per 100 kilometers, while the hybrid version gets 40 miles per gallon combined, or 6 liters per 100 kilometers. That efficiency gap of 20 to 30% shows up consistently across most hybrid models from major manufacturers. Cost savings analysis. Spending about $2,000 per year on gas, which is pretty typical for a regular commuter, means that efficiency difference translates to somewhere between $500 and $700 in annual savings. That $1,600 premium you paid for the hybrid gets recovered in about 2 to 3 years based on fuel costs alone. But here's the thing. That calculation assumes you're doing a mix of city and highway driving, and the reality for most commuters is more nuanced than that. Hybrids absolutely dominate in stop-and-go city traffic, crawling through urban gridlock, sitting at red lights, constantly accelerating from a standstill. This is where your savings could be 50% better than that baseline estimate. Your payback period drops even lower, potentially recovering your initial investment in well under 2 years. Highway driving at steady speeds tells a different story. The advantage shrinks considerably because you're not using the regenerative braking system and the electric motor doesn't contribute as much. Your savings in that scenario would be significantly less than someone racking up city miles. Maintenance and components. The second major concern people have is whether more complexity equals more problems and higher repair bills. Hybrids do carry most of the same components as a regular gas car. There's still a gas engine needing oil changes and spark plug replacements. You still have brakes and tires that wear out. What changes is the addition of an electric motor, an inverter, a battery pack, and several other electrical components. What people miss is that the hybrid system also eliminates some parts. The electric motor doubles as your starter and generator in many hybrid designs, which means you no longer need a separate starter or alternator, and in some cases you don't even need certain belts. Those are all wear and tear parts that eventually fail on conventional cars, and they're simply not present on a hybrid. Regenerative braking changes the equation even further. The hybrid uses friction energy to slow the car down, which takes a massive load off the physical brake pads, and the result is that hybrid brakes can last 2 to 3 times longer than conventional car brakes. That's real cost savings over the life of the vehicle. Toyota has been making hybrids longer than almost any other manufacturer and has sold more hybrids than any other brand, while Honda brings over 2 decades of hybrid production experience. Their reliability data tells a pretty remarkable story. These hybrid systems routinely rack up 200,000 to 300,000 miles without major issues, and the battery packs themselves average between 12 and 15 years of life. Battery reliability. Most people will sell or trade in the car before the battery needs replacement. Even in the rare situation where you do need a new battery, third-party remanufactured and rebuilt battery packs have become widely available at a fraction of what a brand new OEM battery would cost, while still coming with similar warranties. Not exactly cheap, but not a deal breaker either. This all assumes you're buying from a brand with a strong reliability reputation in the first place. The hybrid versus gas comparison matters less than whether you're buying from Toyota or Honda versus a brand with a questionable track record, because reliability comes down to the manufacturer more than the powertrain type. Market demand and resale. Resale value is the factor a lot of people completely overlook when they're doing this cost comparison. Spending an extra $2,000 to $3,000 upfront to get the hybrid means you're going to get that money back on the back end, probably more. The current market for hybrids is absolutely on fire. Demand for hybrids exceeds demand for every other vehicle type right now, including full electric vehicles. Wait times of 1 to 2 years in some areas for popular hybrid models exist because they're so back-ordered. Strong demand and limited supply send resale values through the roof. You can easily recover your entire initial premium when you eventually sell or trade in the hybrid, if not more than you originally paid, which means all those fuel savings you accumulated over the years didn't actually cost you anything up front because you got the premium back at resale. The market has decided that hybrids are the sweet spot right now, and that's reflected in their resale values in a way that doesn't apply to conventional gas cars. Environmental impact. The environmental angle deserves consideration even if that's not your primary motivation. A hybrid that's 20 to 30% more fuel efficient means 20 to 30% less carbon pollution, and depending on where you live and how the electricity in your region is generated, a hybrid can come remarkably close to a full electric vehicle in terms of overall environmental impact. Manufacturing a hybrid has a much smaller carbon footprint than manufacturing a full EV. Since hybrids don't need to be plugged in and charged, if your local electricity comes from fossil fuels, you're avoiding that environmental impact entirely. The hybrid runs on gas, just a lot less of it. Current market challenges. Hybrids aren't perfect though, and there are legitimate downsides you need to be aware of. Actually getting your hands on one is the biggest practical issue right now. That incredible demand means long wait times if you're buying new. And depending on where you're located, particularly across the United States, you might run into dealerships trying to charge markups above MSRP. This isn't happening everywhere, and in some regions you can find dealers charging standard fees, but it's something to watch out for. Getting a fair deal on a hybrid without a markup and without waiting years for delivery means the benefits clearly outweigh the downsides for most buyers. EV comparison points. The comparison to full electric vehicles matters here because hybrids occupy an interesting middle ground. Unlike an EV, there's no need to worry about charging infrastructure. You never have to plan your route around charger locations, you never have to deal with range anxiety on longer trips, and you never have to experience the frustration of arriving at a public charging station only to find it's broken or occupied. You just fill up with gas like you always have, except you're using a lot less of it. For a daily commuter who doesn't have reliable home charging or who regularly takes trips beyond EV range, that's a massive practical advantage. Full electric vehicles will eventually take over, and all the current issues with charging infrastructure, range, and cost will be solved at some point. Until that time comes, the hybrid represents the perfect compromise for people who want an electrified vehicle without the complications. For most commuters, particularly those doing a lot of stop-and-go city driving, a hybrid makes significantly more financial sense than a conventional gas car. You'll recover your initial premium through fuel savings within a few years, you'll get it back again through strong resale value, and your maintenance costs won't be meaningfully higher despite the added complexity. Compared to a full EV, the hybrid offers nearly all the environmental benefits and most of the fuel cost savings without any of the charging hassles or range limitations. You're giving up some efficiency compared to electric, but you're gaining convenience and flexibility that matters for real-world daily use. Best-selling status. The brands making hybrids the longest, particularly Toyota and Honda, have proven track records showing these systems can last hundreds of thousands of miles without major issues. The battery concerns that people worry about are largely overblown based on actual reliability data. Availability and potential dealer markups are the main barriers right now, not the technology itself or the long-term cost of ownership. Finding one at a fair price without a massive wait, combined with driving patterns that include regular city commuting, makes a hybrid probably the smartest vehicle choice you can make in today's market. The numbers back it up, the resale values confirm it, and the real-world experience of millions of hybrid owners over the past 2 decades proves it. For the commuter trying to decide what to buy next, the hybrid isn't just competitive with gas cars, it's genuinely the better option in most scenarios. Hit that like button and subscribe for more honest automotive insights based on actual data.